Welcome to another installment of Tag Me In, where the triple brain trust tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lit Dizzle, joined with none other than Tag's Man of the Year, all egos, Scoot and Page.
What's up, everybody? What's happening?
Of course.
Oh no.
Ladies of the IWC. Mr. ASMR himself, the heartthrob of your community, Mr. Jaeger Bombastic. So fantastic that in order for me to get the play I want to get played, I had to make sure I push my facial hair back. Jaeger Bombastic.
It's good to be here.
Love it.
It's very nice to be here amongst such legendary men.
I enjoyed it. I enjoy it.
You know, the previews.
Of course, I figured that since everybody was changing their facial hair on AEW, I need to go ahead and just trim up the beard, separate some shit.
That was
make
like
it different.
Running theme of the night, right?
It was.
Yo.
Bucks and Kenny, Ironically enough, Kenny and Chris Jericho within that same segment both contradicted themselves. Thought it was hilarious, but we'll get into that when we get there.
According to the Bucks Twitter, the whole facial hair change was Cutler's idea.
Really?
Interesting.
According to Twitter.
Very. Shout out to Brandon Cutler, man, playing his part, giving his shit in where he needs to, earning his goddamn paycheck.
Yeah.
Two contracts.
Love it. Scoop, you got some scoops on the AEW front at all?
Just one minor one, which I mean, it goes along with the aspect of Eddie Kingston's promo against WWE.
Interesting.
There's a certain wrestler who politely told Eddie Kingston he should shut the fuck up and stay in his lane.
Was it Randy Orton?
No.
Oh.
No, it wasn't Randy Orton.
Okay.
It was none other than the one known as Bully Ray.
Oh, yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Of all people?
Of all people.
I caught minor wind of it, but I didn't read what he said.
Well, okay. Well, now my ears are perked up and I'm intrigued. Scoop, do tell.
I mean, that was basically, I tried to find like the whole interview, but that was basically it. Hey, shut the fuck up and stay in your lane. And, like I said, personally, I didn't think that quote unquote promo was that bad.
It wasn't really inflammatory. It's what you hear from in TNA. It's what you hear in Ring of Honor. It's what you hear in many promotions.
I don't see why, to get heated over it.
Well, I wonder because I know, Scoot, you have brought this up too. The shit with Devon wanting another run within WWE. Could this be something that coincides with that maybe Bully Ray or Bubba may be potentially trying to do the same thing with Devon and maybe have a Dudley Boys return to WWE?
It's a possibility because I know Devon still is there as a producer, so he's still with the company. So I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities that hashtag one more match can happen. So is Bully still associated with Ring of Honor?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Let's find out what the fuck Bully Ray's been doing outside of podcast shit. Right now, I think he's departed from Ring of Honor.
Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. I would say, I don't know.
Yeah, because so it showed. Ironically enough, on April 1st, 2020, his contract expired in Ring of Honor. So no telling, but right now, it's not showing that he's with anybody right now. So,
as far as with AEW news, that's really about it. As far as major things that I really seen, AEW tends to keep things in house. Like not a lot of their things slip out,
which I actually appreciate in a way. Because it keeps everything under wraps and keeps everybody on their toes. Yeah.
They did air Kingston's promo on Dark. Or I'm sorry, Elevation. On Elevation.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay.
See, now I think they messed up with that. I think they should have kept that.
Because just for the fans.
Yeah, because all the footage I've ever seen of it was fan footage.
Correct.
It was never, the official cameras. It was a fan holding their phone up, recording it. So I think they should have kept it that way.
Yeah, this is definitely production quality.
Oh shit. They should have kept it that way, where it was just on the internet, and if you saw it, you saw it.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But this episode of AEW Dynamite.
Well, hold on. I do want to let the people know one thing. The man at the bottom does have a new Jaeger After Dark live on our YouTube channel. So if you need to catch up on Dark and Elevation, he served it to you hot and fresh in under 11 minutes.
Ooh.
Better than your local pizza spot.
Quicker than Little Caesars, man.
If you don't have 2 hours to dedicate to Dark and Elevation, Jaeger got you. And usually 15 minutes or less.
You can't beat that. That's a time saver right there.
It's a time saver.
On top of that, he lets you know what matches are going to be worth watching.
That too.
Oh, yeah.
So and he also even lets you know. He also even lets you know what ladies to look out for as well.
Damn, boy.
That right there is just priceless right there, because
there you go.
That's not even the price. That's not even for the price of admission. That's for free.
It's a little sprinkle.
That's right. That's right.
It's right there.
And nobody extra sprinkles on their cupcakes. You just get them.
Yeah, you just get them. You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy those sprinkles.
Then only that, to even give you a bigger treat, some of the time Loki is there for all you dog lovers.
He there.
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Hey, Peter. Do not affiliate me with Peta. No, I do not recognize an organization. I do not like them. They need to chill out with their shit.
Yes, agreed.
Or it's okay. We ain't got to take it to the Peta area. We can go ahead and just do it the traditional wrestling shit. World Wildlife.
Hey, the OG WWF.
Right?
No, OG WWF. So there you go. But either way, yeah.
And I do want to give a shout out to Jungle Man, not Jungle Boy anymore. If you've seen the photo that's been going around,
look,
that's a handful. Handful.
Creasing the leather and everything.
Creasing the leather. That lets you know he was letting people know this is mine, fam. This right here belongs to me. He is not officially Jungle Boy anymore. He is Jungle Man.
I gotta re-up his name to Tarzan or something after that.
Right?
He found his jam.
I'm pretty sure it might cost too much to pay Disney for that name.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
True. I'm a little salty about that, but I respect it. I respect it. I respect it.
I mean, I was pushing for him or her and Stu, but you know what? Good for you, Jungle Boy, Jungle Man.
I never thought about the way he just said he was creasing the leather.
Like Mans was in there.
I mean,
yeah.
And his mom's was at that match.
How else do you do it though?
See, Jungle Man. Right. In there. He might not have won the title, but he did not lose.
He did win that night, though.
He won that night.
Still winning.
Yeah.
Still winning.
And you know what's even crazy? We haven't seen Andrade in a minute.
But he has.
But he has, exactly. But he has.
Oh, no. Had to hit the high pitch there.
But he has. Yeah. But
Jesus.
Now, Mr. Deasley. Wrong way. Mr. Deasley.
That guy
right there.
Yeah, I know. I just, you
Without
said it completely threw me off, man. I'm just, yeah. Anyway, we back on track. The Queen Slayer will be back. Please get back soon.
She did give an update on her injury. Recovery's going along well. So she's on track with rehab and whatnot else. So
good. Can't wait.
Hope to see her soon.
Can't wait.
Damn you, Jungle Man.
Jungle Man.
So this pretty much started off as expected, just like we said, or I think it was Jaeger that said it, how it always starts off with some type of member of the elite or the previous elite.
Yep.
Sure enough.
Bucks kicked it off.
Kingston and Penta.
Typically do.
I am legit upset.
Why?
I am upset of how much I'm really loving Matt and Nick. All right. Like, if you ever really wanted to hear somebody just literally 180, this guy.
No, you're right, because at first it was the whole thing with me and Legado del Fantasma, but the way that you used to shit all over Young Bucks.
I mean, they still got a lot of fucking moves. I'm not denying that. They got a lot of fucking moves still.
They do.
But
the way they got you with their heel turn.
I am so upset that I am enjoying. But you know what? Honestly, this might be controversial. I don't know. Whatever. I'm loving them being heels more than I'm loving Kenny as a heel.
I can see that. It's just because they've gone just like full on, just like, what can we do to just piss everybody off and be as obnoxious as fucking possible?
I mean, they came out there with all the wild ass facial hair, the outfits, the facials they make, the cockiness. Like,
they were waiting. It's almost like they had this shit waiting. It's like, once we turn heel, we have our complete heel turn package just waiting.
It's over.
Feels like they had all this planned or something.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, right? And I'm still loving Penta's Joker gear. Still loving that.
Yes. Yeah, my own.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jaeger.
I just need to give a special shout out to the IWC for all this hate they're throwing at the Bucks right now.
They're throwing hate at the Bucks?
I mean, yeah, they're actually hating the elite in general because, well, they're the ones with the belts right now. They're like, why do the EVPs have the belts? Why is this and that?
I mean, okay, let's really put it. Look, you kind of brought up a small little sidebar. Let's put this. Let's put this. Even if they weren't the EVPs, there was no way Omega, Bucks, and Cody was never going to have a title in this company.
Yes.
See,
it was going to happen at some point. And the thing is, with this company still being in their infancy, it makes sense for them to have it sooner than later.
Get it out of the way now. Especially why during the COVID, or for most of the COVID era,
Exactly. I mean, let's always put it in perspective here too. Vince McMahon was ECW champion.
He was also WWE champion.
He was WWE champion. Stephanie was women's champion. Shane was what? European
and hardcore.
And tag team champion recently with the Miz.
Oh, that's true.
The only
recently
McMahon that didn't get a title was Linda.
No, she got tombstone a lot.
And a wheelchair. And was comatose. Or a vegetable. So,
I mean, hell, even Jeff Jarrett was winning the fucking belts all the time when he was in TNA.
Kurt Angle was in the office too, and he was rocking belts.
So for people not to think that the EVPs was going to get a title anytime soon, you're fucking crazy.
Well, this here is a classic case of no matter what you do, you're not going to please everybody, because on the flip side, when Dynamite was in its inception, people were complaining about the fact that the Bucks didn't have the tag, that they weren't the first tag team champions.
Right.
So, and it's like, okay, so now you were complaining about them not having the titles. Now that they do have them, now you're complaining that they do have them. So it's like, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm glad that this is one of the cases where they didn't listen to the fans. And it makes sense too. Because if you're going to have all the titles, you might as well be obnoxious heels.
Because even let's even jump over to WWE's sake. Mm-hmm. It would have looked stupid as hell if the Undisputed Era didn't have all the belts.
True.
Yeah.
They were running NXT as a whole, and it would have looked awkward as hell if neither member had a title.
I agree.
Yep.
That's what's happening right now in AEW. The Elite is quote unquote running the show, so it makes sense for them to have all the belts. I'm pretty sure.
Literally.
Huh?
You said literally.
Oh, true. So I'm pretty sure if there was another member of the Elite there, they probably would have had the TNT title rather than Miro, because it would make sense for the whole stable to be draped in gold, especially Kenny O.
And they're snarky with it as fuck, because they're literally in your face calling themselves the EVP and just changing the acronym to extremely violent people. So how can you not love that?
Exactly. So,
but yeah, and look, again, my gripe with this is that this whole situation with them against Kingston and Penta, even with the whole feud, it's all for nothing, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of takes me out of, like, again, this match, you're going to get a good match.
Fantastic
Anything with
match.
Penta is going to be a fucking good match. And then with the heel work with the Bucks, from the beginning, once they came out, and then the whole having the headband and then looking like they're going into the crowd to give it to somebody and give it to Nakazawa.
Yes,
they've made that a habit.
Yeah, it's heel work. It is, and
even
it's lovely.
Nakazawa had facial hair.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, at this point, this whole match was more so for entertainment purposes, and I appreciate that. But I also appreciate the fact that it was a good match. But at the end of the day, when you think about the whole outcome of it, it's truly for nothing, because, again, Kingston and Penta could have lost this, and I would have been like, all right, perfectly fine. But they won.
Especially since the match is next week, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, because my thing is like this. Like, in any other scenario, you could say, you know what, these two could go on to beat the Bucks, and then they could win these titles. But my thing is, if you're not even going to let Mox and Kingston take those titles, I know you're not going to let Penta and Kingston then take those titles, because if that's the case, then just like on Scoot's front, you should have had Death Triangle take those titles then at that point. So it's like, if you're not going to have any of these teams take them, I know you're not going to do that with these two.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Pac and Fenix actually have injuries. Sorry to shoot on the kayfabe. Let's see here. Mox had a kid on the way, so he was about to take parental leave. Paternal, I guess, leave. Yeah, it just it's not in the cards for a minute, and I like that the Bucks are the ones that are the placeholders until a legit tag team comes across and actually beats them.
Well, I mean, my thing is, I mean, we all knew that Mox was going to have a kid, but with them, and because with the Pac and Phoenix deal, like I understand that they couldn't take those titles because they would have got injured or they would have been injured. But with Mox and Kingston, they could easily finagle this shit to where you make Kingston have these singles matches or feuds while Mox is gone, because they can still do vignettes and promos here and there. But because it's nothing for Mox to do a quick match and then go back home. We all know Renee is down with the cause for sure.
But like I said, it makes sense. Like now, since all of that has came into play, it makes sense why the Bucks are still champs.
On top of that, with the way that the show has gone and with certain storylines that's happening, it also leads to what we were talking about last week with how we see certain things happening in the near future, whether it be August or September, where we could be getting a lot of title changes at one time.
Well, not only that, if we look at the tag team division as a whole, we know who the tag team champion feud is really about to happen. We all know Proud and Powerful and FTR is the real tag team feud going on.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure one of those two teams are probably going to be the next champions.
Whoever wins between FTR and
it's either going to be two-time champs FTR or Proud and Powerful finally gets it.
Yes. But yeah, with the help of the elite hunter Frankie Kazarian, Penta and Kingston pick up the win in, again, a very, very good match. So still, no, I'm not finishing the match like that. It's just the fact of the finish.
Is Anderson and Gallows signed with AEW? Because I saw that Anderson had a match on.
He did, and I'm not sure. I hadn't looked that up, to be honest.
Okay.
But according to the kayfabe, at least, according to Jericho, they got fired from, as they put it, the other place.
Like I said, I know Callis had got fired, but I didn't know Gallows and Anderson got fired.
Yeah.
Right now,
I think he may have been calling that back to WWE. But
okay. Oh, you said no? Look.
Yeah, no, they're not.
Now,
so they must still be Impact talent.
I'm starting to dislike. When are they going to start putting Kazarian against the Elite?
I think what's probably going to happen, I mean, as far as like booking goes, I think they're going to let him continue to be a thorn in their spine until like they say fuck it, and then they start putting him in matches against, more than likely starting, like if it doesn't start cheesy with Brandon Cutler and Nakazawa, then it might go straight to the Good Brothers, and then they'll start doing that, and then have him working his way up to where he starts fucking with everybody else. But
okay, I can see that.
But yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be the case. Let me see here just to see. Oh wow. Wow. Yeah, they're at this point. I'm assuming they're free agents because they're not even on Impact's roster.
Huh.
Yeah, Hold on, let me see this, because that's ironically enough, they're literally on the front page of the Impact website with Kenny Omega, but they're not on the roster.
Interesting.
Let's see. Now, yeah, it's
interesting. Okay, all right. Well,
means they can go wherever they fucking want.
I would probably say, personally speaking, as much as I love Penta, all of his
he does get carried away with it.
It gets a little like, fam, focus on winning.
Yeah,
but he's always done it like that, though.
True. I agree. It works more with fans, though. It works more when all fans are in attendance. Just like when he had his match with Kenny at it was either at All Out or All In.
It was All In.
Because at that point, if you didn't know Penta, you knew him after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. It does get a little pander-ish. I guess if we can say that, pander-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make it a thing.
Fuck it. It's there. It's in the ether.
Throw it in the Scrabble dictionary.
Yeah.
Right. But from there we get a nice little interview with all ego Ethan Page.
All ego.
Who
I'm not gonna lie. Starting to become a fan.
Oh, I've been a fan of him.
Well,
Same.
I guess if I would have saw when he was with Josh Alexander in the North, but once again, no slight. But let's be real, who was really watching Impact then? But I wish I would have saw more of his stuff when he was part of the North, because I know the North was a very dominant tag team in Impact. But I guess the first time I was seeing Ethan Page, he was having this whole Karate Man shit, and it was like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Shitting on Johnny Karate over there?
Huh?
Shitting on Johnny Karate over there?
Then to see that Ethan Page versus Karate Man match where he ripped out literally his own heart, technically. But yeah, he didn't have a great start with me. But I'm definitely starting to become a fan of all these.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, one outside of his heel work, the way that he does things is very good. But the way, I mean, this was going to be one of the situations that it was inevitable for him and Darby to get into it, and this was going to be something that was going to almost help him plant his flag in AEW. Because I mean, the stuff with him and Scorpio, I mean, that's going to happen regardless. But you know, for him to push more heelish shit by antagonizing the quote unquote face of Dynamite, it's his single road to success. Now with this interview, nothing out of the ordinary of what we would expect outside of like the end. But during that, he basically, say to paraphrase, he wanted to. He's already beat him physically, but it's not doing anything. So he says, I have to beat him mentally. So that's what the casket match is for, or the coffin match. See, there it is. You can't differentiate.
It's trademarked. It's trademarked.
It is trademarked. But the coffin match.
You're probably going to get bleeped when you said it. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to insert a bleep when you said that match.
Oh, okay. WWE.
How that works?
I dare you to put a copyright strike on me saying casket match.
Oh, so okay.
That's two bleeps.
Do it.
Don't be poking the bear now.
Do it.
Get a cease and desist letter.
Okay, Starsky. Don't be posting. Don't be poking the bear.
But yeah, but of course, once he said that,
right?
Huh? It was Starsky.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, so
but of course, once he said that, we had a returning Sting dragging out a coffin, which of course, no surprise there, had Darby in it.
That word don't even sound right.
What, coffin?
Coffin.
Yeah. I guess I'm so predetermined to hear the other C word that coffin doesn't sound right.
I think we can just say casket as long as we don't follow that up with
match.
Yeah.
So he's challenging him to a casket match. No, a fight.
Casket fight. He's challenging him to a casket fight. Even though it's weird because I couldn't say casket drop. I have to say coffin drop because Darby's
that's his move. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. So I'm letting you know this right now. I am going to when the match finally happens, because I can see why they're delaying it a week, because Road Rager looks pretty stacked as is.
Yes, it is.
It would be amazing if he coffin drops Page into a coffin, and that's how he wins. Shit, that was almost tongue tied. Saying all that.
Coffin drop into a coffin.
Yes, but it will also be a great win if he tries to coffin drop and Ethan Page moves and boom, he just right into the coffin and he just like,
and then he closes the door on him.
Yep.
That'll be also a great win. Either one of them will be great. But I love the aspect of Darby attacking him, and then Page was like, no. You ain't gonna get me. I want to be 100%. So with that match off, I need at least a week on paper for you to be a good boy.
Good heel work, man.
And just maybe if you can be good, then at Fyter Fest, I'll give you your coffin match.
Exactly. And just for the record, for those we didn't know, Jericho was on commentary throughout the entire night. So
yes.
Who is always a blessing on commentary.
It is. Because he's not biased. He'll pretty much give everybody their props, except for when, the facial hair thing.
And that's it.
But while he was on commentary, he was talking about the Inner Circle and the match, the 6-man tag that's supposed to happen, or the trios match that's supposed to happen between Hager, Proud and Powerful of the Inner Circle versus FTR and Wardlow of the Pinnacle.
Mm-hmm.
This, again, see, I hate that they had the start that they did with this feud, because everything that they're doing right now is perfect. Hager, on point with his promo when they were doing the backstage stuff.
Got that experience.
I think I missed this part.
Yeah, they had them basically in like the stairwell area.
Uh-huh.
And it was Hager and it was Proud and Powerful in front of him, Santana and Ortiz.
Okay.
And Hager was basically running down the fact, it's like, I know you get tired of seeing us, but it's inevitable. And every time you get in the ring, or every time you get in our face, every time we see y'all, one of two things happen. You get your ass kicked, or two, you get your ass kicked. And he says, I give you all respect to Wardlow because you stepped into my world. You got your ass beat like a man, but you had Sean Spears jump in like a bitch and jump me from behind. And then you tried to injure, and you had MJF try to injure Jericho's elbow again. And that doesn't fly. And
I'm actually also too loving the aspect of how they have Sean Spears, that he's this quote unquote hitman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of loving it.
Cut it out.
Absolutely. And of course, Santana in all his glory gets on and just starts talking all the shit. I mean, it's just like if he wasn't in Proud and Powerful, if he didn't have Ortiz, like he could probably be a standout, like completely, just on the mic alone, just with the way that because he's so believable in his delivery and everything. So I look forward to this match, because and in this match, both you're gonna have Conan in the corner of the Inner Circle, and Tully, of course, in the corner of the Pinnacle. So,
is this supposed to be at Road Rage or at Fyter Fest?
I have no idea. Let me double check, because I know they.
I think that one's at Fyter Fest. Because Road Ranger's in Miami. I got a shitload of stuff in Miami.
Yes.
Boy, do they. Now this actually might be in
Loki.
It might be at Fyter Fest. Because if we look at Road Rager.
Like I said, I know they was announcing so many matches, and I was like, because I know Britt and Nyla is at Fyter Fest.
Oh no, that match is at Road Rager.
Oh, that Road Rager. Wait, which one? Britt and Nyla?
No.
The trios.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, because I know the strap match.
Oh,
that everybody's so excited for. Is it?
Oh, by everybody you mean nobody?
I mean, that's why we haven't heard about it in a couple of weeks.
Right.
But yeah, but basically set that up. I love that promo. No problem there. I love that they're building this shit the way that it should have been built. Again, I still feel like it's going backwards because I feel like this should have been the beginning of it or the middle. And then the shit that happened in the beginning should have happened at the end. But I digress. We're here. But from there, we get Jungle Boy and Jack Evans.
Well, y'all know my policy.
This is clearly, I mean, I was going to gripe about this, but I see what they're doing. They're doing a whole Jurassic Express with Christian Cage versus the HFO. So it was a match.
I did like the little promo they did prior to the match, though. Christian in the back with.
Yeah, that was bad.
It felt like it could have been a BT skit, though.
Yeah, I'm glad Jurassic Express is getting more screen time, of course, thanks to Jungle Boy having that match with Kenny. But for the most part, I mean, it's hard to follow Jungle Boy's match last week with this and then still hope to get like that same ovation because you're expecting him to go over, especially against Jack Evans. Nothing against Jack Evans, of course, but you're thinking about a number one contender competing in an AEW championship match last week, going against a lackey in a not so strong stable.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This clearly broke out into a brawl. Matt Hardy ends up with Matt Hardy and Christian in the ring. And yeah, Christian stands tall, and then that's pretty much it. Nothing special out of this whole match and out of the finish. It's just a continuation of possibly a feud that we could probably do without. But I digress. People are on screen. They're getting their shot. It is what it is. Can't really complain about somebody getting screen time. So there's that. Now, after that, we had a backstage thing, which finally, actually two finalies. Finally, we're getting the match between Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. A cleared Ricky Starks.
And it's for the FTW.
And that's the second finally. And I almost think that it's almost a response to the whole $1 million title shit because we've been coming on here and we've been saying that this title needs to be defended, especially if you're calling it a legit title, especially when you put the graphic on Brian Cage's name.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
The special nameplate and all of that.
So now I hope this isn't just a gimmick thing where it's like, oh, only the members of Team Taz can feud for this title and fight for it.
Yeah,
that would be stupid.
Easy. Yeah.
But either way, it's a start. We'll see what happens. Finally, I'm glad they addressed it the way that they did because of the fact that we kind of already knew that Cage and Starks were going to go against each other at some point. But I'm glad the way they did it is like, oh, we're going to keep it all in the family because they got to get it off their chest. They got to handle this because I don't think it's time for anybody to depart from Team Taz. Just because I like the stable and I think it's pretty solid with the members that they have so far. So I'm okay with this for now.
Small amount of shade thrown on Dark towards Brian Cage.
Oh, really?
I say small, but Hobbs and Hook came out with him. And I mean, when he won, Hobbs gave him a little bump, but Hook's like, whatever. Like, I'm out here. They didn't like come out and hype the man up. They weren't like, it didn't feel like they were 100% in his corner, which makes me want to predict maybe there's going to be some fuckery going on with Hobbs versus Cage.
And this that way they're trying to kick Cage out.
This might be finally it. This is what I've been saying. It could be,
especially if it's a way to put the FTW title on Stark and have him kind of be the face of Team Taz.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it would give them something to do as far as having Brian Cage be the person that they feud with and having this kind of just draw out like that instead of them interjecting in other feuds or other situations. This will buy some time for other shit to happen. So I'm cool. I'm cool either way. So
shit.
But from that, we get to what I believe is some gold, and this is character work, and that's Andrade El Idolo issuing a special challenge to Matt something.
I was gonna make that my name.
Something told me that you would have.
I would have named myself Scoot something, but I was like, nah. That shit was funny. That shit was funny, especially too. Alex A kept saying Seidel, yeah, something. But he was
he's like, yeah. That guy. But yes, Matt something. It's like I want to challenge. And he's like sat out. It's like I want to challenge Matt something. I want to challenge Matt something to a match. Keep doing this with Andrade. Just keep doing this with Andrade. Keep the whole subtitle thing with him speaking English and everything, and just keep it going. Like this is stuff that they could have done in WWE, obviously, but they didn't. They dropped the ball. But it's with the people in the back. It is for AEW, so they can pick it up, and they definitely picked it up very well because it's almost like they're rubbing it in WWE's face that oh, you have a problem with him speaking English? Okay, it's okay. We'll do one better for you. We'll mock you with it. We'll put subtitles while he's speaking English and still make him more appealing than what you did. Perfect.
Thanks.
Love it. So now we have his debut match against Matt Sydal, aka Matt Something, at Road Rager, and I honestly think this is probably one of the better debut opponents that he can have at this point because you think of a high flyer like Matt Sydal and you think of the diversity in his offense that Andrade has. It's gonna cater right to his lucha libre style, no problem. So yes. I'm ready for this match. I still don't think we've seen or heard his fucking entrance music if he has any yet. Because
I would laugh very hard and very heartily.
I'm interested because I'm ready to see the whole overall packaging because what they've done so far with the jewelry, with the suits, with this whole just drip, everything.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see what they do with his entrance or what he's done for himself with his entrance because I'm pretty sure he has nothing but creative control over his character, just like Miro. So, but from that we get to the beginning. Huh? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh no. Oh damn, Jaeger froze. Oh wait.
Am I back?
You're back.
Oh my god. I got to deal with T-Mobile and AT&T at the same time. It's amazing.
I was about to start singing. Jaeger, come back.
But what was I saying? I would laugh heartily if his entrance music was aligned anywhere with his or at least along the lines of his WWE music. And whatever the hell he comes out in, I'm going to be a fan of it. Just don't make him like come out in like a tearaway suit or something.
Yeah, no, he doesn't need that.
No,
he doesn't need that. Leave that to Garza.
Yeah.
But yeah, from that we get to finally the true beginning of a long-awaited feud. That being Kenny Omega coming out in his new facial hair as well, which I
think
Chris Jericho mocked.
I think I know or I'm finally getting the vibes, or I'm solidifying my theory on this. He's getting his champion vibes are very much that of like Triple H in Evolution. Like,
Interesting.
He plays that role so well, just that antagonistic heel that but yet still shows I guess you could call it the fear of his opponent. Like knows that he's a threat, like validates him, but doesn't ever want to say it type of way.
True.
I don't know. Like the Evolution run was just very memorable for me. It's not where I started watching wrestling, but it's I don't know if I want to access the memory banks of that era and that faction are like one of the first ones that come to mind. And I just remember being a kid and hating Triple H because of all the little chicken shit stuff he would do. And Kenny Omega has definitely given me vibes along those lines.
Yeah.
So, and especially with this, like once he gets serious about like an opponent or somebody that's like, oh no, we're going or something, then he will look them in the face, or I guess Uno in this case in the face, and be like, I don't think you want this type of way.
Yeah. And I like the way that he kind of ran down like the whole list of people that he beat without saying their name, just saying like as far as like monikers or what people would rumor them to be as far as anytime they would challenge Kenny. And of course, in it being like, okay, well, there's nobody else, so I'm just going to go off to the other promotions and defend titles there. And you may see me sometime in the future. And of course, Dark Order's music hits.
Mm-hmm.
And they all come out, except for obviously Hangman, because he's just the friend. And Evil Uno decides to confront Kenny. And of course, by design, Kenny thinks that it's somebody from Dark Order that would be trying to challenge Kenny. And that's not the case, because even though he tried to run down 5, said, oh yeah, 5, he wouldn't even last 2 minutes.
That was pretty funny.
That was funny.
Although that man shows some heart in Dark.
All of Dark Order is just in their own right, just amazing. But of course, this led to what everybody was hoping it would lead to, and that's the fact that they brought up Hangman. That there is somebody who has enough wins to challenge for that title, and it's somebody that you know very well. And of course, Kenny, being Kenny, said, well, if it's who I think you're talking about, pretty sure he wouldn't be okay with you coming out and talking for him. If it's who I think you're talking about, even he doesn't believe that he can hold this title. And if it's who I think you're talking about, he doesn't have the guts to come out here and say it. And if it's who I think you're talking about, let's first off, the fans. Cowboy shit all day.
All day.
Cowboy shit all day. I love how they alluded to that, especially in Kenny's case. Is now it's pretty much a well-known thing, basically calling out Hangman's insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's something that they have been pushing as far as for a storyline, even to go as far back as when he lost against Chris Jericho for the initial match for the AEW Championship, and just kind of pulling more and more at the thread of that, and just to kind of have that long time booking, long time storytelling. Having that go, and then having, of course, Dark Order be around Hangman so much as like his safety net. Because, and it's funny because they don't say it, but you can almost kind of feel it. The fact that, they're not going to be the type to pressure him because, they just want to have a comrade within their ranks. And it finally getting to them towards like, you know what? We know he deserves it, so we're going to go and speak on his behalf. And then to kind of have it piggyback and then talk and, of course, go backstage where they're talking to him and they're actually confronting him about it. And then saying, you know, hey, it's okay if you lose. You know, we don't think you're scared. You know, we just think that you're afraid of failure. And it's okay. So, of course, there was no finality to that. It was just there.
We got your back.
Yeah. So now they've just planted the seeds to, because this is clearly where this is going to go. I think, again, Kenny may have maybe one or two more defenses before he even has that match with Hangman. If that, it could just be one match that he has before he gets to Hangman. But I do feel like they're going to continue to tell the story, so that way they can like continue the storyline the best way that they can in order to build up to it in the best way possible. Because this is not going to be one of those things where it's like, oh, all right, cool, Hangman wants it. All right, let's go ahead and shoehorn this fucking match. I think they're really going to dive deep into this and make sure that they tell the story correctly, so that way, one, we get the only person to kick out of, or the only person in AEW to kick out of the One Wing Angel, and then two, a good crowning of a new champion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think it's going to take Kenny running down the Dark Order, like just knocking them off, like or assaulting them.
Yeah.
And then Hangman's just going to decide, all right, enough's enough.
I like that.
That's my booking for it, at least.
I like that. I'd be fine with that, because especially like having the only people that actually believe in him. Mm-hmm. Especially, it's funny because it's a nice little parallel, because you have, or a nice little contrast between them and the Elite, because you have the Dark Order who hold him in high regard and believe in him and his abilities, and you have the Elite where he felt he was in the shadow of the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
See, fucking AEW, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah,
bastards.
Not like the other company. To steal
not
that
like
from
the
Kingston.
other company. Not on the other channel. You don't get that on the other channel. But from there we get a nice little backstage promo from Brian Pillman Jr. getting ready for, well, I'm not getting ready, but basically speaking to Miro in a way, basically stating how he's not God's favorite champion, how he's not the Messiah that he claims to be, and how this is more than just a TNT championship match. This is personal, because he put his hands on Griff Garrison, and how this is just more than a match to him. And then this match happened.
Would have felt stronger if this was maybe a couple more years down the road.
I mean, yeah.
He didn't believe his own words.
Yeah. And I hope that they play on that for later on. And then, because I think it would be a missed opportunity if they kind of just let him say it like this, and then it kind of just go to the wayside. I think they really need to kind of just keep that on the back burner for later on, because again, they're going to end up pushing Brian Pillman Jr. down the line, as long as he stays with the company. So, because I mean, again, I don't see him going to WWE. I don't think that they would have him over there, because just, they don't like controversy. They don't like, skeletons, so to speak. So, yeah, I think they need to hold strong with this. Yeah, they need to hold strong with this and keep that, because I think this can come full circle, and it'll give everybody watching something to root more and be behind Brian Pillman Jr. even more with this, to kind of grow with him, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, again, another thing nobody expected Miro to lose. It's not like it was going to happen. It doesn't need to happen, and it's just not the time for it. Everybody that's going up against Miro within these next 5 or so months are going to be complete cannon fodder for Miro. And it's supposed to be that way, unless you get somebody that comes in and debuts and just says, hey, fuck Miro, we're taking it. And then, yeah. But as of right now, as the roster stands, there's nobody right now that I see taking that title off of Miro. Unless it's out of fucking shock.
I want to see Lance Archer do it, but that's already been pulled on.
You brought up an interesting point there, Jaeger. What is the ultimate goal for what is their strategy for Lance Archer at this point?
That's a good question.
Right now he keeps on wrestling and in Dark and Elevation, but I mean, like I was talking about in After Dark, he I mean, he came out he's been wrestling angry. He's pissed. He's motivated for something right now. And like I said, I hope he's just helping his number, boosting his numbers, so he can eventually get to wrestling Miro. Don't know how long that's going to take. Hopefully not too long, but at the same rate, Miro is Miro right now.
That's true, and Mans is mad dominant right now.
Oh yeah,
because
God's favorite champion and whatnot.
Every time I see it, and you saw that he has a new nickname now, the Redeemer.
Oh yeah, on his intro and new music.
So, but it was funny because the moment he hit Game Over on
Pillman,
and I was like, okay, but the moment he put Pillman in position to just lean on back with it, it was like, yep. I honestly think Miro should do it and name it like how Chris Jericho did it. Wow, he had the Walls of Jericho, but when he said
a Lion Tamer,
it was a Lion Tamer. I think Game Over should be the Camel Clutch, but when he reaches it back, he should name it something else,
something biblical.
The
Last Testament.
That's fine.
Oh, that sounds.
I put it in there. Let's do it.
That, or he could play on his nickname he gave himself. He could call it God's favorite. Like God's favorite submission or something like that.
That's true. Something. Don't let it go to waste, Miro.
But yeah, I think when he reaches back like that, he should name it something else.
You should call it, no, you know what you should call it? My wife's favorite position.
Yo, that would be wild. And I would love Miro forever.
Will TNT let him get away with that?
That would be the thing.
Out. Yeah, Miro.
I mean, they let him watch my hot wife flexible.
Matter of fact, Lana, if you're watching, convince Miro to name it that.
Whoa. There's no Lana anymore. It's back to CJ, isn't it?
It's back to CJ.
CJ. There you go. But yeah.
CJ is best. CJ number one. Also number
surprise.
Number one in flexibility, apparently.
Right?
Yes. Miro takes it, no surprise. I mean, if you are surprised something's wrong with you, get help. Get your brain checked. Yo.
Was it me? Or it might have been the character. But did it seem like Miro was being mad disrespectful to Aubrey Everett?
Huh. I didn't get that initially. Now I'm gonna have to go back.
Okay, so if you go back and look, remember he threw the belt in the ring and almost hit her. When she picked up the belt, he snatched it from her. Then when she was trying to get the belt from him so she could hold it up, he was handing it to the guy on the outside of the ring. Then, of course, when he won the match, she tried to raise his hand and he quickly snatched his hand away. Like I said, so I don't know if it was like him really just being into the character, but it seemed like he had a little grudge against Aubrey Everett or something.
Okay, if it's a legit grudge, then no, bad Miro. But if this part of the character, if this is gonna be like a running thing, and I say keep it. Just make it be a whole like Go ahead.
This is a running thing where he's disrespecting referees. Then by all means, keep it. But
he has to specifically do it to Aubrey though.
Just Aubrey. Just keep snatching your hand
Just
away.
Aubrey. Like everybody else is like cool, but like if it's Aubrey, then he has to be completely disrespectful when it happens, so that way he can get more heat on because everybody loves Aubrey.
Kind of like Rick Knox is always with the Young Bucks matches.
Mm-hmm. So you purposely put Aubrey in all the matches. That way, if he does something like foul and she calls him out, he gets more pissed off about it because he feels like it's just her messing with him.
Speaking of the Rick Knox thing, do we believe that was a ignored 3 count, or what are we calling that?
Okay, so I didn't see it.
Oh, okay. So Penta was clearly pinned. I thought it was a 3 count. I literally thought it was a 3 count. Yeah. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. Wait,
that was Matt.
No, it was Matt that got pinned, and then Penta was pinning him. It was clear. It was either like how they say paper thin, or it was 3 because when I seen it,
Knox's hand definitely hit the mat.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's toting the line right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, and of course the whole crowd.
Like I kept hearing the crowd and the whole that was 3. That was 3. So
the fact that they didn't replay it though makes me feel like it was definitely an accidental thing.
It could have been.
But that Jericho on the mic was like, "That was 3. What the hell?"
Oh, and speaking of Jericho, shout out to both him and Kenny's contradictions. One, for him making fun of Kenny's facial hair when Jericho had that same facial hair, and then 2, Kenny's contradiction on Dark Order, saying, why don't you in your video game playing buddies go do something?
Right? It's like, sir, AEW games.
Exactly.
And let's not forget, Kenny's been at a couple Evos himself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They did the Young Bucks. They did the Elite versus the New Day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Huh. Pot calling the kettle black, eh? But AEW's favorite champion.
Yes.
Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel Reba and Reba versus Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero. Of course, I started to shit over all of this, but then I realized what it was for.
Yeah.
They didn't want any of the talent to look bad going against Britt Baker. Not that they would, it'd be a favor, but they used Vicky Guerrero pretty much for the finish.
Yes.
That was pretty much it. And this was more so to further the feud between Britt Baker and Nyla Rose, which, of course, still no differentiation between heel or face because, of course, it's AEW, but there's still no true distinction. Like, you couldn't even pretend to be like, who's what, because one, Nyla Rose is with Vicky Guerrero. Nobody likes Vicky Guerrero. That's never going to happen. And then 2, Britt Baker. But, of course, if you think about it, Britt Baker is more so the face in this because the crowd is behind Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And it was even worse when Nyla Rose put it through a tape.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yo, from the apron. Ow.
Yeah.
Power bombed from the apron onto the table.
So that means there was some elevation there.
I see what you did there.
Man, Scoot, that was dark.
Right?
Yeah.
I almost had one, but no, I don't got one.
It's okay, man.
Somebody say Nyla went on a rampage during that.
Oh, you might have said that she acted like a native beast.
Yeah,
Right?
that whole table exploded like dynamite.
Whew, boy.
And you can't get no more elite than that.
Oh no.
See, y'all thought we were done.
Oh yeah, y'all
Going
thought
back to back to back. It's gonna happen whenever you expect. We can't give you this all the time.
They thought we hit the pinnacle of our jokes.
They forgot. We know Scoot. We were sitting above that.
Hitting that Scootical.
Taking a few trips to the moon.
Oh, that's cross promotion there. Hold on a second.
It is. But yeah. But we get from that, and we get to the main event, which I didn't have true expectations for. I wanted to, but for me, I felt like this match was just way too soon, because I feel like this is like a next era type of match.
Yeah. I will say this personally. I did not think that was going to be the outcome. Wait, no, I'm tripping. I did. I did. I for some reason, I don't know what. I knew that was going to be the outcome. Sometimes it should just be straight matches. You know, everything doesn't necessarily have to have, and this goes in both promotions. Everything doesn't necessarily have to have run-ins and interference, and like it's okay to just let them hash it out.
I agree.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going that way.
It did. I
assumed it was going to be MJF with some type of like sneak shit, and then to get a win. But I assumed any of the sneak shit that happened from him, not from anybody else.
And I think that's what upsets me, is that this was a pretty lengthy match.
Yes.
And you wait till like the last 30 seconds and all hell breaks loose. Like, that's the one thing I didn't like. Like, it should have just stayed MJF and Guevara, and MJF just naturally beats Guevara. Because they could have easily had Guevara do the 630. He misses. MJF pops up with the Salt of the Earth. It could have been over, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just to, you know, I know we're skipping ahead, but just for it to truly end with a chair shot. Yeah. All of that match just for the winning move to be a chair shot. And we seen some of these wrestlers in AEW get hit with every fucking thing, but the chair shot is what do it. And see, then too, it would have played even better. Maybe it shouldn't have even been a chair shot to the head. Maybe he should have did a chair shot to the elbow again. Then Saw the Earth.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have made more sense if he would have hit the elbow again, and that way MJF would have hit the Saw of the Earth, and it would have been like, damn, Guevara has no choice.
Well, I mean,
that's 2 weeks in a row the elbow was attacked.
I mean, for Sammy, things did get pretty salty for him in the ring, especially with MJF putting his balls in his face.
No. When I saw that, I felt for MJF, to be honest. I was just like, dude, are you okay? like, gee.
Now, I know if MJF would have landed on his feet after that, he would have played into that and made it worse for Sammy. But because he fell, I think that just kind of made it worse for him. Yeah. But commentary played it up, though. They were saying Sammy was just too fast, and then just got there before, you know, he was too fast for MJF to leapfrog over him. So cool, but still. But again, another shout out to Sammy, though. I mean, but this is more positive for him. because when I felt like it was almost like a call to WWE. Say, y'all did that shit.
No.
You don't think so?
100%. Oh, Ricochet thought he did something. I hold my beer.
The
that
way he
100%.
He did his he did his senton, his springboard senton into the crowd and did not touch a single person outside of MJF.
That was the crazy part, that he stayed and he didn't have that much room to work with.
Exactly. And I'm glad the replay showed it again, but they showed it from another angle to show exactly how well he rotated in order to not kick anybody.
This little clearing path. If he would have went outside to the left or right just a little bit, there would have been a fan kicked in the face or punched in the face.
Shout out to Houston's own Sammy Guevara. You know, just saying, he's from here.
Couldn't happen. That's all.
So I'm not saying it's a coincidence. I'm not saying we're out here just doing that, but sometimes we're out here doing that. Come test me.
Yes.
But yeah. Again, I still stand by my same sentiment, is that this match should have is something that they could have waited for. I mean they're going to feud later on in the future as well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I think you probably could have done something different. Because we still just need Sammy and Shawn Spears. That's the feud right there. It's cool that they had this match to kind of further the whole Pinnacle and Inner Circle thing, but other than that, yeah, Spears and Guevara, that's the feud right now.
Mm-hmm. And I don't like the callback they did too. I'm pretty sure y'all mentioned it. The whole, hey Jericho, if you want this match, you got to accept my stipulations.
Yeah. This shit, and they're gonna have a face-to-face. I think is what it is.
I think it's
Road Rager.
Yeah. Is it the face-to-face is next week, so he can hear MJF's stipulations.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't like the fact that that's happening all over again, that he did with Cody, to do it again with Jericho.
Yeah, and I know one of his things is that I guess if he beats Jericho, then he can. They'll never wrestle again or something like that. They'll never wrestle each other again or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that I wouldn't be surprised that'd be one of his stipulations.
So, I mean, hey, if that's the case,
hell,
I guess I'm cool with that.
He might fuck around and tell Jericho, if I beat you, then you have to leave the Inner Circle.
That is very interesting.
Right.
And I say it's interesting like that because of the fact that when I watch Hager and Proud and Powerful kind of standing together like that, like I like that aesthetic of those three. And I'm saying that, hey, Sammy G could work out in that as well, but with the way that those three looked,
yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So, but that was AEW Dynamite in a nutshell.
We're forgetting one of the most controversial bits of the night.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if y'all caught this, but there was a little special after that match.
Oh yes, I will say this: that little vignette video. I want to take this small time.
Wait, hold up! I think I may have missed something then.
It was after the MJF and it was after the MJF Guevara thing. Like the last 5 minutes, they had a video recapping the last 15 months.
Oh, that okay.
And
Gotcha.
JR did say something at the end that I did catch. And I was
like, no, plenty of people caught it.
But before we get to what JR said, AEW AEW, All Elite Wrestling. I might not agree with everything y'all do all the time, but the one thing I will give y'all credit for, y'all killed it during the pandemic.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all started off in QT's gym. Y'all had to make it work. Then when y'all was able to do Daly's Place, you immediately was like, hey, put the wrestlers in the crowd.
Yep.
Put the wrestlers in the crowd. Y'all did everything right this pandemic. So kudos to AEW for that. Y'all definitely killed it.
Yep.
And that video made me sad because it was like, damn,
Had the
Brody wasn't even really there that long. You know, it was like, damn.
I know, right? What did JR say? Because clearly I missed that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, JR's big send off. Everybody was saying thank you, Daly's Place. You know, we love you. Like, thank you for hosting us this whole time. And then JR gives it a final send off with, like, thank you for watching WWE Dynamite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. The last thing you hear was thank you for watching. And look, the first time I heard it, I was like, I kind of had the Scooby-Doo. I was like, what?
Yep.
Huh.
And JR,
it was funny because he literally said, thank you for watching WWE Dynamite. Bloop. Like he didn't have time to kind of correct it or nothing. It was just
slip of the tongue out of his mouth.
Well,
of course, you know, I saw a couple of people shooting him bail, and they was like, well, he did work there for over like 20-something years, and it was like, fam, come on.
Oh, JR went on Twitter about it.
What did he say?
He was like, yeah, I made a mistake. I'm paraphrasing at this point. But he said, yeah, I made a mistake. It's like, no, I won't be quitting. Like, have a good night. And he's like, put the little cowboy emoji on there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that are calling for JR to be fired, which is ridiculous. There's people trying to say that he's getting old and he's starting to slip, which, I mean, he's made some slips, but it's still JR. Like, I don't think the man needs to be fired over this.
The one thing Cornette had said long ago about JR, because it's been a while since I listened to our favorite wrestling manager, but the one thing he said, JR is considered one of the greatest wrestling announcers. There's no denying that.
Yeah.
He said the issue with JR is you can tell a lot of this stuff he wasn't keeping up with. That's why, you know, he might not know some of the moves or some of the things that, you know, these guys are doing now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that one's fair.
But he was just saying that, yeah, JR is still getting old, but he's still one of the greatest wrestling announcers.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, hey, in the great words of Day from the Friday series, play as fuck up.
Exactly.
So, hey, everybody has a semi-day at the office. This is no different. And look, JR has said more controversial things than the slip of the tongue. So, I look.
At this point, I feel like.
What? Speaking of, did y'all see when he commented under Rebel's picture?
Yeah. Why is nobody calling that one out?
Because here's the thing, everybody was thinking it.
I mean, fair. I mean, Rebel though, like.
I mean, Rebel, like.
I was surprised to see it. I was like, "Whoa, Rebel though."
Because they look at Jared and say, "You know what? I can't blame him." But that WWE Dynamite shit, nope.
Fucking IWC.
Yep, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. But it is what it is. JR, I'm not gonna give you flack for it. Hey,
no.
Because trust me, I've come on here and I've had the slip of the tongue on certain things my damn self. So casket match, coffin match, all of it.
Oh, that's 3 beeps, man.
Yeah,
that's fine. And look, for those of you watching this, if you haven't heard a beep yet, that means WWE didn't beat me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Poking the bear.
Hey, Jaeger, it seems like Lip Diz was acting like Johnny Gargano.
It feels like it.
Nah.
You know, he got a touch of the Gargano this week.
No. This isn't the way.
As long as they don't come down on you like Karrion Kross does.
Right? No. I ain't trying to have the channel get hit with a cerebellum. You know?
Or run over by a freaking challenger.
Yeah. You know.
I mean, look, it could happen, but only if I get hit with a Scarlet.
Hey.
Letter. But that shit aside, AEW Dynamite in a nutshell, that's what it was this week. Not a bad show.
What?
Can't complain. But Scoot, you got any final thoughts on this week's AEW Dynamite?
My looming final thought is I can't wait to see where and how the Hangman and Omega storyline go.
Indeed. I'm in the same camp. In the same camp. Jaeger, you got any final thoughts?
I want Idolo to win that AAA title.
I can agree with that too.
My final thoughts is he will.
Actually, that would be a nice beginning for the downfall of the belt collector. You have him lose a AAA title to Andrade. You regretfully lose it to Sami Callihan.
Well, Callihan will be first. Callihan is this month.
Shit, you're right. Yeah. So then push it a little further back or a little further down the line. He loses it to Moose then in a rematch. And then when he's got nothing else left, he's getting desperate because that's his last belt. He loses it to Hangman Page.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yes.
Wild predictions, but hey.
Hey. If it's wild, it's bold. And if it's bold, it's good.
What you got for us, Lip Dizzle?
Absolutely. Anna Jay. The Queen Slayer back on TV. Get better. Hopefully she's sealed up soon. So that way we can get her back on TV and hopefully get her in those goddamn rankings. No Jade Cargill this week. Not complaining because I would rather see her in the ring instead of these promos and vignettes.
Yeah.
Simple shit. All the champions for the most part. Yeah, no, all the champions were on TV this week. Good shit. Love all the character work. Miro. Yes, that's Miro. Yes, Miro. Yes.
I'm saying Miro instead of yes for things.
Right? I'm down for that. But
Miro.
It's either no or it's Miro.
Ooh, I like that.
But until we get back to this to another installment of Tag Me In for AEW, Scoot, where can the people find you at, my friend?
Since it's apropos for this show, how MJF has his little pinnacle.
The little pinnacle.
You know, I'm above that. At the squiggle.
Yep.
And you know, if you want to reach me, it would be at IG, Instagram, same thing, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok at the ScooterRay. Like I said, I'm at the Scootical here. I'm above all of that. That's where you can find me. But of course, Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, Twitch, YouTube, Twitch, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, IG, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and other places Anchor distribute with the Ninja Banter podcast. So you can find me at all these different type of places. You know what I'm saying? I just rain down content upon people.
I like
rain
it.
Down.
But he ain't talking about OnlyFans.
Enough about me. We need to talk about the heartthrob of the IWC.
Yup.
Mr. Bombastic. Where can these peeps, especially Red Velvet and actually Damn Boy,
because Damn Boy,
where can they find you at?
Well, besides eventually in a crowd at AEW.
Hey,
like that.
You can find me on the Instagrams, the TikToks, the Xboxes, the PlayStations, all under Jaeger Bombastic. It's right here. And you know what, ladies? If you really want to find me, you can do yourselves a favor and find me in the DMs.
All up in there.
Now, excuse me while I get a slice of cake. And I mean Red Velvet.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Mr. Deasley, what could these good people locate you, sir? What could they?
I don't know. I'm almost intrigued about which Red Velvet he's talking about, but I digress. If you need that positivity in your life, Lifestyle 1UP is where you need to look up. Your IGs, your Twitters, your TikToks, all your podcast listening platforms. Got tongue-tied for a second. Just search it up. Whatever platform you're on, Google, Anchor, Spotify, Podcast, Podbeam, all that shit. I'm not going to go through the whole list of shit. Is there. But
we everywhere. He everywhere.
If you want to just shoot the shit or try to disparage the crown of the purveyor of predictions, Lip Dizzle, IG, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, etc., 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 etc. Bam. But you know what it is. Before we go.
July 17th and 18th, The Good Doctor and Christian Cage will be in Houston for Comic Palooza.
They will.
I got a toothache all of a sudden.
All I'm saying is, The Good Doctor, we here. We're trying to have a crossover with T.A.G and the DMD. So, Dr. Baker, holla at your boys.
It's going to happen.
It's happening.
Holla at your boys.
We will make it happen. We will make it happen. We will lobby for it to happen. And then
Not only are we trying to meet the Good Doctor, but we're trying to interview the Good Doctor as well.
Right. And it will happen. Some way, shape, or form. It will happen.
Yeah.
We might even get her to get against it too sweet. Because Adam Cole knows all about it.
He knows all about it. All about it.
But of course, as we lobby for that, and we will continue to lobby for that until you see us next week, until you see us at Comic Palooza, until you see us anywhere in between. I bid my brothers a nice too sweet. And I bid all you beautiful mother effers adieu. So until next time, T.A.G